should behave. So you actually program it, and so all the computer chips that are in there have been pre-programmed with several loops, but in the end of the day, you do not know how these loops will actually interact and how long you will stay in one loop before you actually go out of it. So that is actually a research that is robotics, and both Ivan and I are not robotic experts. So, I mean, that is very difficult. And I think for the beauty of it, if you want to look at it in that way, that is definitely something that should be expanded upon, right?
Totally. Everything is very much related to the necessities, to what the machine was requiring in order to become this. You know, so it's really like, yeah. You know, so all the size of the solar cells, they are calculated in order to have this amount of electricity that we need. This is really like the first prototype of this work, which was like 1 year research, you know, and then of course everybody have like a completely different idea how it could work. Maybe it should be like that, maybe it should be like that, yeah. You know, but this is really like the first prototype, and of course things can evolve. The design can evolve, can get better, maybe like they become smaller, but this is really like the first.
Yeah, but it's good that it can float.
Yeah.
Because to move while you're floating, that is much less energy than if you would have a car that has to ride or something that has to walk. So that is already very good. And but it has to float because the algae are floating, right? So it's a very logical step. So in this case, also one of the limitations is the grinding. I mean, that takes quite some power to actually suck up algae and to grind it, because it's really, I mean, I'm talking about molecules, so the molecules has to get out of that cell, right?
How fine is the grinding?
Yeah, all kinds of, so you have, like you saw in the movie, you have like little microparticles which are probably not usable. But in that green water, we expect also membranes to be present. So these membranes adhere randomly on these solar panels, and just a few of them will actually generate photovoltaic.
I feel like you haven't talked enough about the artistic side of this. I feel like you've talked a lot about the mechanics, and there's design, and there's engineering, and there's electronics. But I want to hear more about the artistic questions here.
Good. Yeah. And if you consider like artworks as a sort of a poetry, you know, it's like a living system combined with you know, it's like it's an electrical system combined with living organisms, and this for me it's already very poetic. You know, maybe you see this as like a